What's up, everybody? Yeah, man, I'm just taking a look at the market, man. You know, today was a holiday, so we didn't really get much in the first part of the day. You know, on the holiday, once the market opens back up at 6 o'clock, it's treated as one trading day, so the market is open again. And I'm taking a look right now. We had the S&P 500. Uh, I got so much stuff on my chart that people probably wonder like what is all that. So let me just hide everything. This is where we are. This how we finish. This the last couple weeks. Look at this consolidation. Just a bunch of ugly consolidation. I mean, it's moves in here, but this a daily because this a daily chart, so it's definitely moves in here. I mean, you have from that's 4209 to the low right here. 40, 55. I mean, 150, 100 and something move, like between there. The range would be created right here, honestly, from this swing on up. And I have a lot of stuff on my chart, so I don't want to confuse anybody looking like, man, what is all this stuff on this chart? Because hey, at the end of the day, I am a novice. I know ICT and I know other people don't have stuff on their charts, but I do have stuff on mine. Because sometimes I need to like see where I am. So if I was to put things back, chart looks kind of confusing to some, I'm sure. I put this box around this range using this swing low to this swing high. This is the range that we in. This line right here is equilibrium, 50% of it, so I can see where we are in this particular range. In this particular range right now, we're in discount. So if the market is trading by using this range, using this swing low to that swing high, we're in a discount, which you want to buy in discount, sell in premium. So that's why I had that here. This is something ICT talks about when you're trying to find the CE of a wick or a bar. That right there is the 50% mark of this weekly wick. Right here is I just have it down on the other chart so I can kind of see if we get any kind of reaction to that area. And then within here, from this candle to that candle, we have a daily gap, which that's what, when I drop down to a lower chart, you'll see a blue like zone. That's for that daily gap. So this is where we are within the range right now. My thinking is that the market is going to want to come and get some of this gap. It's going to want to close this gap. How far down we go, I don't know. We have consequence encroachment right here on this particular wick that ICT talks about, right here at 40, 70, 50. So that could be an area we look to get a bounce from. This is also this particular color range that you see. That's also an hour gap. So it could hit consequence encroachment and close that hour gap. Then we could get a bounce back up, or the market could keep coming down. I think I'm leaning towards the market wanting to come up. We've been in consolidation, like I said, for how many days now? Let's just say from the low to the high, and let's see how many days after that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 days, and Monday and Tuesday is counted as one day right here, so it'll be day 12. Eventually we're gonna have to get some expansion to the downside or to the upside. Let's go to the weekly and see what we see. See, I have to remember, like, some of these levels shouldn't be showing up on certain charts, so I have to get that off the weekly. I don't like to see that stuff when I come to the higher time frame, because it's really just for the lower action. for me to just see it, you know, on the lower charts. Yeah, so that's where we are right now. Let me get all that stuff off the chart. I'm just tired of looking at it. You know, it's still on there. When I drop down to a lower time frame, you'll still see it, but I had to get it off of here and get it off the daily, the weekly, not even going up to the monthly. So yeah, so here we are on the weekly. This is where we trading in. This is a price void on the weekly, so we want to pay attention to this. This more than likely will be a strong draw on liquidity at some point. You see, it never came up and balanced. It never even got up here. But when it does get here, we're gonna look for some sort of reaction from here. But that's why I have them big like that, because I want to see them on the weekly. I think I have them on the daily. I can't remember if I have them. Yeah, I think I may have taken them down once we get up to the hourly. But anyway, let's go back to the weekly and let's see where we are. Okay, so this was the low of 2022 here in October. We took liquidity from here. Also, okay, this not the continuous contract, so it stops at June 21, so I'm not able to see on down here. But from what I remember, we hit an hourly, I mean not an hourly, but we either hit a weekly, or a monthly gap. This is the continuous contract, so this will show me from the weekly I get to see more. Alright, so let's go here. Yep, so on the weekly, we closed this gap. We took out what was June's low. That was the low of the year. Until October, we took that out, dipped right into this weekly gap. I mean, like barely dipped our toe in it. Market's been coming up ever since. Came down, failed to come down and take out this swing. I'll get back down here. Market is going up. We've got some slight pullbacks, but market has continued to go up. Now we had these equal highs right here. We had those equal highs right there. Let me just market took out the equal highs, but as you see, it was a liquidity pool. Also, this is a gap on the weekly. Just about closed that entire gap. Came down. Now, looking at where we are, how we haven't closed above this swing, I'm still not seeing us getting down here. Back down. I mean, of course, it'll take some time to get back. It's not going to come down here in a week anyway. In 1 week anyway. But I don't think we're coming back bearish. At least not right now. I think we're going to continue on up. Looking at the nearest draws on liquidity from a weekly standpoint, there are no gaps for the market to come back to and fill. So I think we continue up. All the liquidity from my standpoint, looking on the weekly, is I didn't even realize, man, I'm not even on the screen the way I need to be. I'm all the way over there. Okay, so from my viewpoint, all the liquidity from a weekly standpoint, the higher draw is to the upside. We have this swing, and we continue to close this gap. We have this swing high from August of last year, which is also inside of a gap. This gap needs to be closed. So from my standpoint, now it already hit that. Now this could have been looked at, depends on how you want to look at it, this could have been looked at as a weekly breaker that the market has yet to take out, we close below it here. Boom, got one touch into the breaker, got rejected. Came back, second touch into the weekly breaker, got rejected, and came back. We still, at least on this chart, have not closed above the weekly breaker from March of last year. Came down and then here we are again. So that's one way of viewing it. But like I said, we got 1, 2, 3, 4. It's not going to continue to hold. So from my standpoint, all the liquidity is coming this way. All the liquidity is leading towards bullish at the moment. Now, we could do something like this eventually. Of course, this is the weekly, so we could do something. I mean, I don't have to show all the little moves in it, but let's just say, because of course you go up, you pull back, you go up, you pull back, yada yada yada. But let's just say we come and take this out. Market could do that. Come back down, get us like that, and then close, and then return. But I don't think that's what we headed. We'll be looking at how it reacts to this swing. This was the all-time high for the ES. But I think we at least take out this swing up here. Let me label that. Okay, I don't know what's going on, why it won't give me my template, but whatever. Now let's go back to the daily on what we talked about. That's that swing. You see this gap on the daily and another gap. So all the drawn liquidity is here. We came back into this daily gap, tapped 50% of it, and got sent up. Just about closed that gap down here. But other than that, it's really, and just in my mind, it's nothing for the market to immediately come back to. Yeah, this gap right here, this would be a draw in my mind. This would be a draw on liquidity that the market could want before I could see the market coming down. I can see it wanting this swing. All these swings, you got relative equal highs. You got relative equal highs with these two, with this one and this one. Relative, I mean, they are not equal completely, but they are close, as you see. As you see here on the daily. Yeah, see, they're relatively equal. So it's just a lot of liquidity to the upside in my mind. You got the daily gap, you got the relative equal highs here, you got this high here, you got this gap and that gap on the weekly. To me, all the liquidity, the nearest drawn liquidity, is going up. Plus, if you want to look at traditional trading thoughts, you want to talk about trend lines and stuff. Look at what we just did. So you gotta think at the liquidity pool that just happened. Okay. Okay, what in the world? What am I doing? Alright, so let's just bam. Cause that's how the trend line would have been drawn. Look at that, perfect, bam. Got to draw on it. Now, a lot of people gonna say, when you think about trend line trading, which I don't trend line trading, I'm just showing you this is also how you can find what would have been a draw on liquidity from the daily standpoint. This trend line, because here we're going back to the beginning of January. Look at it. You can make it fit, make it go. We dipped our toe below trend line, and so what do people normally do when they wait on trend line trading? You wait to see if it can hit the line and then get rejected, which just so happens to be right inside this daily gap. I think we're going to come inside the daily gap. We're going to draw back a little bit, and then I think we keep going. But just to show you how that was also another draw on sell side liquidity. Boom, knocked out anybody who was following the trend. Anybody who was saying this going up, get right here. Boom, knock them out, and it's going to continue going. So that's just another way, because there are some traders. I don't trade by trend lines whatsoever, but there are some people who do. And for those people, there you go. Once again, you know, another set of liquidity that got taken out. You know, so just when you take all those things into account, those are the things that I'm looking for. These are the things that I'm looking for. I'm looking for the market to continue up. Now let's go back to this chart that I had on here. Let's go back to the daily. Now you understand a little bit why I have all these markings on this chart. Let's go to the 4-hour. And here we go. Alright. Okay, so this is where we are within from Friday to today. This was Friday. Here we are today and tomorrow, which is one day. Alright, see these. This is just a line showing if it gets violated. Just to let me know. You know, I just like to know what's going on. I just set the alert when it gets hit or if it gets violated. You know, it'll come to the phone. Let me know. Bam. So we in this tight range that we were in today. I expect at some point that we're gonna get some kind of expansion, but that's basically where we are. This purple is a 4-hour gap, and this blue area. That's why I went back and explained all the things that I did to get back to this, so I could explain what was going on my chart. Those are those consequence encroachment levels that we saw, that I was pointing out, and this blue shaded area, that's the daily gap. So this is some of the stuff that I'm looking for. I'm gonna break this down on the hour. Like I said, you look at where the liquidity is. Look at this huge gap. Look at that. Look at that huge gap. I mean, where does the market want to go? I think the liquidity is up top. I mean, could it come down, take this out, take out this level, and then go? It could. Actually, I would kind of prefer that it does that. I would kind of prefer it comes down, take this out, and then give me a play going back up top sometime tomorrow, which I might not even be able to trade tomorrow. But just say that I do. That could be something I look for. You got this big hour gap. We got this level right here, 41.18, consequence encroachment level. We also have the 41. What is it? 41.01. What's that? Is that? I'm trying to see what made me put that there. but that's another level. 4104 is another level that I'm looking at. I'm trying to remember why I put the 4104. Oh, that's the middle of the daily gap. Yeah, I almost forgot. 4104 is the middle of the daily gap, but this daily gap is not that big. So how many points is this? 4112, 4096. Man, that ain't nothing. So that's not even 20 points. I'm expecting that to get rated. Once it gets into this part, this daily gap not even big enough in my mind for it to hold. I'm expecting it to get rated. But I still put that there, the consequence encroachment of this daily gap. I expect that. It's so small, I expect that whole gap, which the consequence encroachment is 50%, which ICT teaches. And so I'm expecting it to hit that. I'm expecting us to get, possibly get sent down. But I think we're going to keep going through here. I think we're just going to keep on going. Now we could hit 4118. Now that is a level that I'm looking at. When you look at it, now we have 3 different gaps right here in this area, right where this 4118 is. This could easily be an area that we get some level of rejection from before going back up. So that's where we are, which this other level of that wick that we talked about earlier, that 40, 70, 50 was a consequence encroachment of one of the daily wicks. That could be 40, 70, 50, which that'll line up right with this hour gap. Man, it could take that out. Bam, we could find us a play going back up to the top, which would be lovely. So, I mean, this is what I'm looking at right now. This is the ES. I'm on a 1 hour chart, but going back to the daily for anybody that was just checking in, this is what I think we're going to get. I think all the liquidity is up top. I think all the liquidity is up top. Yep. From a higher time frame, all the liquidity is up top. Yeah. But that's what I'm seeing. That's what I'm watching for. So, I don't know if you trade, if you don't trade. If you don't trade, I don't know if this piqued your interest at all, but if it did, hey man, stick around, learn more. I also have another page called the Gray Hair Trader, which is the Gray Gray Trader, the Gray Hair Trader, and you can find me on there, and you see me doing different things. But yeah, this is what I'm looking at now. This is a really tight range. What is this? 40.89 to 40.73. What's that? About a 16-point range. Yeah. I mean, of course, that ain't worth talking about, because we know that's going to expand, and it's 6 o'clock right now. So I don't expect the market to move right now. Market's really going to move tomorrow, but those are some of the levels that I'm looking at, and some of the levels that I am looking for. Let me go ahead and expand that. So, yeah, that's where we are. Alright, man, I'm about to tap on up out of here. So, hey, y'all be easy. I might come back on tomorrow. The only thing I don't like the way my computer runs. I think I need to get a little more power. I don't like how slow things run when I have the stream on. So that's why I haven't been streaming with more consistency, because I need to get a little more power behind my computer, and then we can stream. And hey, y'all tapped in every day. This is just as much for myself as it is for anyone else. I feel like this is a way to help me stay on top of my game, help me stay on top of my discipline, to show people what I'm doing, and to do it the correct way. So look, but anyway, I'm tapping out at 6:30. I'm not even gonna look at the charts until tomorrow. I will let those alerts go off just so it can tell me where we are in the range, but no trades are going to be taken. Alright, well, we out, man. We'll holler at you. Stick with me. and also look up the Gray Hair Trader. Yeah.